For over 100 years, the Butler County Humane Society has cared for and placed into loving homes the area's abused, neglected, and abandoned animals. Our No-Kill initiative was started in 2000 with a commitment of the board, our staff, and our community. As we are a non-profit, non-tax supported facility, the BCHS is dependent on private donations for survival. We hope you enjoy this episode of Critter Corner and bring your entire family to visit us here at the Butler County Humane Society.
This little 10-year-old man, Bonzo, has tons of love packed into his petite body. Wanting nothing more than to be by your side or curled up in your lap, he just loves to be loved. Though don't let his old age fool you, he has plenty of pep left in his step and enjoys going for long walks and romping around. With such a good-natured disposition, Bonzo has all the potential to fit well into any home, with or without kids or other pets. Oreo is 1 year old and can be as sweet as the cookie he's named after. When he's in the mood, he can be quite the cuddler and purrs up a storm, but can also be rather rambunctious while play, darting around the room and play-biting his feline companions. Due to his excitability, he may do best with kids over 8, but would fit in well with most other pets, as long as they are also the playful type, so that it can keep up with his active nature. After arriving at the shelter as a stray, it was discovered that 5-year-old George had heartworm and was immediately treated. Now that he has recovered and is once again on the move, he is ready to find his new home. With the love of fetch and an even greater love of a good belly rub, George is a bundle of personality. He would do best in a home with kids over 3 and without cats, as he doesn't seem fond of their claws. With all the cuteness of a young chick is 8-year-old Chickadee. Calm and even-tempered, Chickadee likes to take her time getting through the day. Not one to rush, she soaks up every last ounce of love you give her and returns the favor with a quiet purr. While friendly with people of all ages, she isn't one to share your affection with other cats. This beautiful 1-year-old boy, London, arrived to the shelter as a stray and ever since has caught the eye of many. For some, he startled them from his kennel because of his loud, deep bark, but he's won over many more once out of his kennel with his lovable personality and award-winning smile. Due to some puppy-like behaviors, London would fit best into a home with older kids, but may get along with other pets. Bob, originally from a litter of 4, was the most laid-back of his siblings. Now 1 year old, he enjoys romping around during playtime with his human playmates, but he definitely loves cuddle time most of all. Not one to mind a comfy lap, a gentle cheek massage will have him happily kneading your leg in no time. He would make an excellent companion for any home, but would rather not share you with another cat. 3-year-old Brittany arrived at the shelter with a wound across the back of her neck, showing she had a rough time as a stray. Understandably, she was very timid and cautious, wary of all the attention she was receiving from staff. Now, Brittany has come out of her shell and is much more willing to meet new people, but she would still do best in a home with children over 10, as long as they are not high energy, as they may startle her some. Rescued from another shelter, 2-year-old Sampson was sick upon arrival. After some attention, medicine, and TLC, he is fully recovered and ready to show you what a great companion he can be. A bit on the shy side, he can be easily intimidated by other animals, so he may do best as an only pet, though he seems to be fine around kids as long as they aren't overly active. Meet Denise Pavot. Denise is a dog lover. She has 3 rescued dogs of her own, but enjoys walking, cuddling, and socializing with the shelter dogs in need. However, Denise is a true champion when it comes to helping spread the word about the Butler County Humane Society. Although Denise has only been a volunteer for a short time, she can be found at many events in the community to raise awareness about the programs offered by the shelter. She is also passionate about fundraising so that we may continue to keep our doors open to help the less fortunate pets in the area. So next time you see Denise, whether at the shelter or at an event, thank her for all of her hard work. When Ivy first arrived at the shelter as a stray kitten, she was taken into foster care where she was nursed back to health and grew into a hardy cat. Now 3 years old, she is seeking a home that will allow her to adjust on all her terms since she was adopted in return for hiding too much after a short period of time. If allowed a little bit of space and understanding, she will soon be hugging your shoulders, headbutting your chin, and giving kisses on the cheek. With honey brown eyes, 5-year-old Donovan is sure to win you over with just one look. Arriving to the shelter as a stray at 5 years old, Donovan's skin was in rough shape. He was missing patches of fur and had flaky spots covering his back. Now he's showing the world what a beautiful man he is, both inside and out. Donovan has a lovable nature and makes him well suited for just about any home environment, with or without kids or other pets. Picasso came to the shelter as a stray and was very tiny for his age. Now, at 1 year old, he has become a full-sized, healthy young man. While he starts off shy, he steadily warms up to you and will start chasing around toys for you in no time. Due to his shyness, he warms up slowly to other animals as well, but has had several kitty playmates since arriving at the shelter, so he would do well with other cats. He would likely do well with some kids too, just as long as they aren't expecting a cuddler, as he prefers all 4 paws on the ground. True to her breed's nature, 7-year-old Peanut still has plenty of spunk to spare, and she rarely acts her age. She's active and attentive, interested in everything you're doing at any given time. She's also quite the lover. Unfortunately, she isn't fond of cats, and due to her distaste of them, she was surrendered to the shelter for adoption. However, she loves to play with other dogs and would make an excellent companion for kids 10 and up. 1-year-old Cathy has grown into quite the lady since coming to the shelter as a young kitten. She was often seen keeping her litter mates in check when they seemed to be getting too rambunctious, but wasn't so stuffy that she wouldn't also join in to play when the mood struck her. Now she enjoys the company of a variety of other cats and people and has become quite the cuddle buddy, complete with loud purring. Cathy would fit well into most homes. Originally adopted from the shelter, 3-year-old Bear returned when his family began going through a divorce. Since his last stay, he has packed on a few pounds, but that just means there's more of him to love now. Though he is treat and food motivated, Bear still enjoys running around with some other dogs, playing fetch and going for walks. Despite his size, he would do well with some kids and some other dogs, but doesn't seem to enjoy cats. Calling out to you as soon as she sees you is 5-year-old Paige. As loving as can be, she will rub against your legs asking for some love. If her silent pleas are left unanswered, you can be sure she will start talking some more. Paige would do well in most homes, with or without kids, though she does not seem to like other cats, preferring to have all your attention for herself. Calm and poised, 4-year-old Howard came to the shelter as a stray. Despite not knowing much about his past, it's obvious someone once cared for him as he already knew most of his commands upon arrival and walks excellently on leash. True to his hound nature, Howard is an affectionate, cheerful boy if given the chance to overcome his initial shyness. He just wants to make sure you're going to return his love. He would fit well into just about any home. A handsome man of 4, Ryan knows how to charm. He boldly greets you with a headbutt and immediately looks for some love. With such poise and confidence, it's hard not to resist him. Even the other cats seem to fall for him, as he has had quite a few playmates during his stay at the shelter. Due to this, Ryan would likely fit well into any home with or without kids and other pets. Macy, 6 years old, and Nikita, 4 years old, came to the shelter as strays. These extra-large girls seem to be fully aware of their size and are very gentle. Not particularly active, they take life at a leisurely pace, preferring their rest and relaxation time over anything. They would do well with kids despite their size, and may do well with some other dogs, though Nikita would do best in a home without cats. Tennyson is the last of a litter of 4. Originally in foster care, this little lady is now 1 year old and has settled into a playful personality. The mover and thinker of her litter, she is always exploring and trying new toys to see what noises or movements they make. Her favorite toys are covered in feathers, and once she has one, she doesn't want to put it down. But don't let that fool you, she still enjoys being held for some affection time and will always return favor with a loving purr. Still young and learning, this 2-year-old cutie Reba has plenty of enthusiasm left from her puppy days. She loves to play and run in the fenced-in yards at the shelter. Once she burns off some of her energy, Reba is ready for some TLC and happily gives kisses. Though she didn't know much upon arriving as a stray, she already knows many of the basics and is continually learning thanks to dedicated staff and volunteers. But since she still has work to do, she would do best in a home with kids over 12. 3-year-old Sprinkles came to the shelter after being found wounded. After having the wound across his side treated, Sprinkles began to show his appreciation through purrs and head bumps. Quite the friendly fellow, he is weary of dogs, making staff wonder where he received his injury. Though he would do best in a home without dogs, he does enjoy to spend time with his fellow felines, making him a great addition to a home with or without other cats or kids. Lola, at 8 years old, is a loving, gentle girl who is plenty active despite her age, though now she's moving at a slower speed than she did in her younger years. A true companion dog, she is at her happiest in your company, whether that's going for a car ride, a leisurely walk, or just lounging near your feet while watching TV. With such an amiable disposition, it isn't surprising that she gets along with other animals, but would do best with older kids so she can have some R&R during her golden years. Middle-aged at about 7 years old is Flickr. While not always big on snuggling, she still enjoys the company of people and all that comes with your attention, whether that be a gentle chin scratch or a wave of a feather wand. Due to her rounded personality and fun-loving attitude, Flickr is likely to fit into most homes with adults and kids of all ages. At 2 years old, Booboo is still trying to figure out who he is. Sometimes he can be shy and unsure of himself, while at other times he will be up and running, ready to play. The one constant with him is his sweet disposition. Even during his timid moments, he obviously enjoys the loving attention he gets from you, and he tries very best to return all that love. Booboo would do best in a home with kids over 10, so he has the freedom to fully be himself in his new family. This 4-year-old man, Jerry, is quite the handsome fellow with a face that's hard not to love. Starting off shy at first, he can be highly affectionate if given the chance. After a gentle cheek massage, you'll have him purring up a storm and following you around in hopes of more affection. Though still a bit nervous around other animals, he seems to have the potential to get along with them, as well as children. Bring your pet for a walk on the wild side to the Butler County Humane Society Woof and Whisker Walk on Sunday, October 20th. Held at Butler County Memorial Park, registration for the event will begin at 12:30 p.m., with the walk kicking off at 1. There will be games, contests, raffles, and food available. All participants will receive goodie bags filled with coupons, treats, and other great things for your pet. The cost is $10 for the first pet and $5 for each additional pet. Walkers who raise $25 or more will get a free t-shirt. To register or for more information, call 724-789-1150 or visit our website at butlercountyhs.org. Though getting up there in age, 7-year-old Hal has energy to spare. In fact, you may not believe he's really 7. Hal enjoys any and all games and activities, just as long as you're around to join in. Otherwise, he's likely to be seen curled up napping until you're ready to give him some attention. Hal would do best as an only pet as he can be choosy with his canine companions, but loves the company of kids. Just over 4 years old, Kenny has come a long way since arriving at the shelter as a stray. Initially, he had a few medical issues that needed attention, but he is now a healthy man ready to find himself a forever home. Mild-mannered and very affectionate, Kenny seems to get along with everyone and everything, especially other cats. He will walk up to you or another animal and give them a headbutt in greeting, then will purr away in satisfaction as you return the attention. Neela had the good fortune of being found by one of Butler County Humane Society's veteran volunteers and spent a brief amount of time at her home. There, it was discovered that she is a bit of a lap cat in her, but only once she becomes comfortable with you. Since being at the shelter, Neela has become a bit shy once again, but after some patience and care, she is coming around once again to more and more people. With an air of elegance about her, Neela would make an excellent companion for a quiet home without any other pets, so she can receive your full attention, as she knows she deserves. 3-year-old Taser can send quite a shock to your system when walking into the kennel, as he has a big bark, but once out of the cage, he'll shock you with how sweet he can be. Though maturing, he is still rather active and enjoys running and playing, though he isn't opposed to nice long leash walks. Since he does lean towards the active side, he would likely do well with kids over 5 so he doesn't accidentally knock over smaller kids. Beautiful and reserved, 5-year-old Judy came to the shelter as a stray, and she is more than ready to find herself a forever home. While she may be overlooked at first due to her initial response to strangers, she can be an excellent, low-maintenance companion once you have earned her trust. Once she understands you and you her, she will be a lifelong friend. Preferring to have all 4 paws on the ground, Judy would do best in a family with kids over 8. Arriving at the Humane Society as a stray was a little overwhelming for 2-year-old Pitty Pat, but after settling into the daily routine of shelter life, she is slowly gaining some confidence, thanks to staff and the help of volunteers giving her some extra TLC. With those she knows well, she is the best lover around, snuggling and giving kisses galore, though she can still be shy with new people, making her better suited to a home with older kids. Grayson arrived at the Butler County Humane Society with an injury across his side. At 2 years old, he made a quick recovery and was up and active in no time. Now happy and healthy, he's showing how much he appreciates the loving attention he received from staff. Grayson gets along well with kids and other cats, but is very weary of dogs, making him best suited for a home without them. At 1 year old, Boone is very much a puppy in many ways. He's active, eager to please, and still learning all he needs to know to grow into a wonderful young man. Boone loves to go on walks, play fetch, and keep away, as well as romp around, though he has been known to cuddle from time to time. Boone seems to prefer to play with the lady dogs over the male dogs, but would likely fit into most homes with kids over 10. At 1-year-old, Duncan is slowly exiting his crazy kitten phase and has become quite the lover. He loves being held from time to time and gives affectionate nibbles. While curled up in your arms, he will nuzzle your face and neck, purring loudly the entire time. But once he's down on the ground again, he's ready to run and play. Duncan would make an excellent addition to any home as he enjoys the company of kids, dogs, and other cats. 5-year-old Beal is a big man with a gentle disposition. While his size can be intimidating for some, when given the chance, he will show you that he is very well behaved and knows many of his commands. He loves toys and loves to cuddle even more. Sometimes he thinks he's a lap dog and will try to fit onto your lap. Beal would fit well in just about any home, even one with younger kids and possibly other dogs. Rachel, at 1.5 years old, is still growing and developing. Originally arriving as a stray with her siblings, she started off rather shy and uncertain. Now she is coming out of her shell with the help of staff and volunteers. She really began to shine when she went to a few off-site events where she soaked in all the attention she received. Though Rachel has come a long way, she would most likely do best in a quieter home environment, though she enjoys the companionship of other cats. Energetic and friendly, 10-month-old Bongo is just what you'd want out of a puppy. Though he still has some growing and learning to do, he'll be more than happy to do so with you. Outgoing and adventurous, Bonzo would make an excellent partner during any and all activities or just keeping you entertained at home. He would do best with kids over 6 due to his activeness, but make it along with some other dogs. Even though he's a bit wobbly on his feet due to neurological issues, 6-year-old Hamilton still behaves as any other cat would. He purrs, sucks up as much attention as he can manage, and even climbs, jumps, and explores. He has been known to misjudge distances or trip himself up from time to time, but due to his go-get-'em attitude, he has quickly become a favorite among staff. As long as he doesn't get laughed at, he makes fast friends and would fit well into most any home, even one with kids, dogs, and other cats. As a senior dog, 8-year-old Okie knows exactly how he wants to spend the last half of his life, with plenty of TLC, R&R, and a welcoming lap to snooze on. Though he enjoys lounging around for a good portion of the day, Okie is more than happy to play with toys. He's even been seen throwing them around for himself during his kennel break behind the front desk. Due to his age and desire to go at his own pace, Okie would do best in a home with kids over 13. Join us for our Fall in Love with a Pet Fest on Saturday, October 26th. Held right at the Butler County Humane Society, the event will run from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. We will have food trucks, raffles, adoption specials, and more. And bring your pet, as we will have a photographer on hand to take gorgeous pictures in front of our fall backdrop. Or come from 1 to 5 p.m. to enjoy the music of DJ Joe. We will also be holding our last rabies and microchip clinic of the year that day, from 2 to 3:30. For questions about all the fun, please call 724-789-1150 or go to our website at butlercountymhs.org. Dutch is 2 years old and arrived to the shelter as a stray, so not much is known about his past. However, it is clear that he knows what he wants, and that's a new home. Strong both mentally and physically, Dutch likes to be active and challenged whenever possible. This can make him a bit much for younger children, so a home with children over 10 would be best. However, he would make a great companion if you are looking for anything from a running partner to a cuddly house dog willing to learn some fun show tricks, such as roll over and play dead. While she didn't show much of her personality at first, 3-year-old Felina is slowly showing her colors more and more. While she's a beauty, her true appeal comes from her personality. Though she doesn't like to be held for long periods of time, she's more than happy to give you lots of affection on all 4 feet, and even sometimes on your lap. Being such a lovely girl inside and out, Felina would fit well into most homes. Returning to the shelter after his adoptive mom found out she was pregnant, it was obvious that Sheamus had packed on quite a few pounds, though he still has the desire to be up and active, which is quite impressive as he only has 3 legs. With the perfect balance between playful and lovable, Sheamus would make a great companion for just about any family, with or without kids of all ages and other pets. Felice came to the Butler County Humane Society as a stray. Staff discovered that she was already spayed, so she must have once been part of a family. While no one knows how she ended up on her own, she's moving forward and looking for the perfect home. During her stay at the shelter, she has understandably become picky with her people after seeing so many come and go, but she can be as nice and loving as the next cat if she approves of you, though since she can show some catitude now and again, she would do best in a home with older kids. Though he has a big bark, 2-year-old Luger can be intimidating at first, but he really is a sweetie at heart. Still active and wanting to play, he is often seen running around the fenced-in yards to burn off some of his pent-up steam. But once you join his game, he's all about you and getting some loving attention. Due to his size and activity level, he would do best with kids over 5. This quiet girl came to the shelter as a stray over 8 years ago and is selective about her friends, both feline and human. When out of her cage, Allie is quite content to lounge and watch the world go by from a comfortable seat at the top of a cat tree. Although she keeps to herself, she has no problem with other cats and has been seen playing with a select few in the past. And if Allie decides you are trustworthy, you may be able to pet or brush her, though that kind of trust takes some time. Allie would prefer a quiet home with someone who understands that companionship and love can take time to build. Mothering a litter of 9 upon her arrival as a stray, 4-year-old Emilia has seen all of her babies grow and be adopted into homes. Now she's ready for her turn to find a loving family. Sweet and nurturing, Emilia is well aware of her size and is a gentle lady. Wanting nothing more than to be by your side, she soaks up all the attention she can get. Emilia would do best in a home with kids over 8, but may get along with some other pets. Smokey was brought to the shelter at 3 years old. Before arriving, he had an unfriendly run-in with the dog, making him very shy. Though he's often seen hiding both in and out of his kennel, staff has seen more and more of his personality the longer he has been at the shelter, reassuring them that there is still a friendly boy hidden behind all those nerves. But this still means that Smokey would do best in a home with no young kids or dogs. 6-year-old Kaiser is a large boy, and while his size may be intimidating to some, he can be just as nervous around new people. Though he sometimes warms up slowly, he is making more and more friends, showing each one that he has lots of love to give. He just wants to be sure you will love him back. Once he knows you do, he'll be more than happy to play and romp around the yards with you. Kaiser is a truly good boy that would fit best into a home with kids over 10. Still young in age, 1-year-old Mary seems to have an old soul. Not much of an active kitten, she prefers to seek out your attention. From time to time, she still acts her age and chases around anything with feathers, though she would rather have a welcoming lap that she can hop onto for a cheek massage or pampering brush. Mary would still do best in a home with older kids due to her occasional kitty diva moments when she wants some time to herself. At 3 years old, Hannah is still hanging on to some of her puppy energy, making other dogs her age jealous of her spunk and vigor. She enjoys playing and going for walks, but also seems to soak up downtime in the quieter areas of the building, showing that she has a fairly well-balanced activity level. Due to this, she would likely do well in most homes just as long as there are no cats, so she isn't tempted to chase them. At 1.5 years old, Bailey was surrendered to the shelter when she and the other household dog weren't getting along. Though she had some trouble making friends with that dog, she hasn't had much trouble making human friends since her arrival at the shelter. She starts off shy, but after one look in her eyes, it is obvious she's a sweetheart. After a greeting with an outstretched hand, she spends every moment showing you just how wonderful and loving she can be.